All right, so today I want to make just a really short video. I've covered almost all of this information in other videos that I've done, particularly my Revelation chapter by chapter series. But what I want to do is just sort of condense into one short video the relationship between the harlot and the beast, because this is a really, really important relationship. And in fact, a huge portion of the book of Revelation describes this relationship and how it's this relationship, which isn't a very good one, between the harlot and the beast, how it's going to be broken. Now, a lot of people sort of get confused. I know I did. Years ago, I was listening to people teach on the harlot. It's the, a woman rides the beast. It's the Roman Catholic Church. It's this, that, or the other thing. But the harlot is actually very, very old, much older than Rome, much older than the Roman Catholic Church. And I'm just going to show you the verses that say that. And then I'm going to show you where the confrontation is going to be between the beast and the harlot. And the beast, by the way, wants nothing to do with the harlot, nothing at all. The harlot is not going to be a part of his thing when he comes on the scene. I'm going to show you the verses that say that. So Revelation chapter 17 is a huge chapter that describes the relationship between the harlot and the beast. What does the harlot do? What is she all about? What is her thing? Well, my understanding from what I'm reading here is that the harlot influences and controls the kings of the earth, not just a king, but the kings of the earth. And she also, through them, influences the earth dwellers. And remember, earth dwellers is a category of people in the book of Revelation. They're the people that have their hearts and affections set on things of this earth. They aren't particularly looking for anything to come, no heaven, no hell. Whatever life you're going to live is going to be right here on this earth right now. So here's what Revelation 17 verses 1 and 2 has to say. This is when John was instructed sort of after the fact about the identity of the harlot. Then one of the seven angels who had the seven bowls came and said to me, "Come, I will show you the judgment of the great prostitute who is seated on many waters." So this is talking about the harlot's judgment. All right, this is when God is going to judge the harlot. Here's the next verse. "With whom the kings of the earth have committed immorality, and with the wine of whose sexual immorality the dwellers on earth have become drunk." So the harlot is behind the scenes. She's sort of the secret ingredient for how things have been going on the earth for a very, very long time. And she's had control, or she's been sitting on seven horns, which are seven mountains. And this, I think, is the really important thing for people to understand, is that the harlot has been here for a really, really long time. There's a reason why she's called Mystery Babylon, and I believe she goes all the way back to Babel. Revelation 17, 9 and 10. "This calls for a mind with wisdom. The seven heads are seven mountains on which the woman is seated." Okay, so a lot of people will go, oh, the woman must be seated on Rome. That's the city of seven hills. Or Washington, D.C., which also has seven hills. Or even Istanbul, which has seven hills. But Revelation tells us what those seven hills are. There's seven kings, five of whom have fallen. One is, and the other has not yet come. And when he comes, he must remain only a little while. So what the angel was telling John was, at the time that he was alive, that there were already five kings that the harlot was sitting on, that she was controlling, that had fallen. All right, so these are the mountains on which the harlot is seated, okay, which means she's got the reins, she's controlling the kings of the earth, right? She's working with them. The kings of the earth, if they align with her, if they will kind of do her bidding from behind the scenes, they get enriched by her. Okay, they've grown wealthy because of her. They prostitute themselves with her. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, these are kings that the harlot is over. And what the angel tells John is 5 have fallen. In other words, they're already done. One is, that's Rome and whoever is in charge of Rome at that time. And there's another one that's coming. Okay, so this one here would be the seventh king that the harlot is going to attempt to rule over. All right, so Mystery Babylon is not new. She is very old. She goes back before Rome. Okay, and I believe that it's possible that this first king, okay, who rules over a kingdom, was probably Nimrod and over Babel. So these are basically what I would call satanic kingdoms that have been in existence, that because these 7 heads are on the dragon also, who is Satan, these 7 heads are also on the beast. Okay, so when the 7th king comes on the scene, the 7th king is going to go away and become the 8th king. Okay, which means basically we're told he will die and then he'll come back to life again. He'll resurrect. Okay, the resurrection isn't by Satan or anything like that. Remember, Jesus has the keys to death and Hades, and he controls who dies and who is resurrected and everything. So Jesus is in control of all of this, and he allows this to happen. Okay, so that's how that works. All right, so the harlot has been in control for a very long time, and right now the harlot is sort of coming forward. We see who she is. She's the one who is sort of controlling things behind the scenes right now. She's in control of presidents and uses non-governmental agencies and so on and so forth to dictate what's going to be happening in various countries all over the earth. Okay, so we can actually see her come to the fore right now. So the harlot has been in existence operating without the beast for like thousands of years. Okay, she's very old. She's been operating for thousands of years. Now, when the beast comes on the scene, she's going to attempt to do with him. He's the 7th king, and remember, she's controls the kings and gives favors and does all of that. And he does not like that. Here's what it says. And the angel said to me, the waters that you saw where the prostitute is seated are peoples and multitudes and nations and languages. So the harlot is not a particular city. She's not ruling over a particular city like the Vatican or New York or anything like that. She is over the whole world. She is seated on waters, which are peoples, multitudes, nations, and languages. It's not just one place. It's at all kinds of places. And the 10 horns that you saw, that is these 10 kings that are going to arise, they and the beast will hate the prostitute. They're going to hate the harlot, and they will make her desolate and naked and devour her flesh and burn her with fire. All right, so now when we see the 7th king coming on the scene, and the 7th king is the first seal. It's the rider on the white horse. He comes out conquering and to conquer. Well, who is he at war with? He's at war against the harlot. He hates the harlot. That's what we're told right here in scriptures. He hates the harlot, and so do the 10 kings who are with him. And God has put it in the hearts of this rider on the white horse, the 7th king, and who's also known as the scarlet beast, who is being ridden and controlled by the harlot. They're going to destroy her. They're going to burn her with fire. This is like conventional stuff. This is like a war. This is a gigantic war, by the way, and we're talking about World War III, and I'm going to map this all out here for you in just a minute. And God has put it into their hearts, that is the 10 kings, to carry out his purpose by being of one mind and handing over their royal power to the beast until the words of God are fulfilled. And the woman that you saw is the great city that has dominion over the kings of the earth. Okay, so she's Babylon, Mystery Babylon. the great city is this worldwide entity who is over the kings of the earth and the waters and nations and peoples and tongues and languages. All right. So she's been around for thousands of years. When the beast comes on the scene, the rider on the white horse, he hates her. And what he's going to do is destroy her. So the things that you see going on in the world today, that where this world is being run by these people. And by the way, I got my first video taken down the other day, and it was one about the beast. So I'm going to use the words and language that the Bible uses because I don't want to trigger any more videos being taken down. So I'm not going to call them the great you know what, or the you know, something. Oh, not going to talk about them like that because I want to keep my channel going. So anyway, this present system is going to be destroyed by the beast. So you may go, well, I thought the harlot was bad and the beast is bad. Why would they fight each other? Well, because in the end, God wants to destroy the harlot, but he's going to use the beast to do it. And this system that we're in right now is going to be destroyed at the same day as the abomination of desolation, same day as the second woe, the sixth trumpet. And when you read about the sixth trumpet in Revelation 9, you realize that it's fire, smoke, and sulfur on a single day, a single hour, day, month, and year, which is how the destruction of Mystery Babylon is talked about in Revelation 18. It's on a single hour, a single day, and it's going to take out a third of the Earth's population. That is a third of the people who are present at that time. So who is the seventh king going to destroy? Who is he out trying to conquer, conquering and to conquer? It's the harlot. Okay, that's what he comes out to conquer first. And when does he appear? He appears at the opening of the first seal. He's the rider on the white horse. Once he rises from the dead, he's going to take out his enemies in a certain order. The first one's the two witnesses. They are going to be killed by the beast who ascends from the bottomless pit. And they're going to lie for 3.5 days unburied, and then they're going to rise from the dead and ascend into heaven same day as the second woe, okay? Which is the same day as the abomination of desolation, when the Jews will have to flee into the wilderness. So after he's put down the two witnesses, the second thing he's going to go after is the harlot, and she's going to be destroyed 3.5 days after the two witnesses are killed. Okay, so the two witnesses will be killed, and then 3.5 days later they'll rise from the dead, and it's that same day that the harlot will be destroyed. And there will be a little bit of her left. There's going to be vestiges of the harlot. Not everybody that's a part of that system is going to die, but most of them will. And then after he's put down the harlot, he's going to go after Israel, and in particular the remnant, which is why they will flee at that same point in time. And then when he realizes, you know, the dragon and the beast and all that realize they can't get this remnant who's in the wilderness being protected, then they go after believers. The woman has other offspring, those who keep the commandments of God and hold to the testimony of Jesus. Okay, so this is the order that the beast is going to take down his enemies. Okay, this is how the dominoes are going to fall. So what does this look like on a timeline? Let's erase this and put it on a timeline. So we know there's going to be 6 kings and kingdoms that the harlot is going to rule over before the 7th king arrives. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, they're all going to be fallen. And then the 7th king will arise, and that's the rider on the white horse. Okay, and basically between the time of Rome and the time of the end, there's kind of 2,000 years. All right, this is the 7th king. So the harlot's been running the show, if you take it all the way back to Nimrod, okay, behind the scenes, for, about 5,000 years. Okay, so about 5,000 years she's been here. And there's going to come a time when she's destroyed, when this whole system that we've been living under, that everybody's been imprisoned to, is going to collapse. But it's going to be after the seventh king arrives. Okay, so there's going to be a period of time when the harlot rides the beast. He's not going to like it. He's going to make war against her. Let me just move this out a little bit. And then at the time of the sixth trumpet, she's going to go up in smoke. That's when the harlot is destroyed. The seventh king will kill the two witnesses right here. And then 3.5 days, and then the harlot is destroyed. Okay, 1/3 of the earth perishes. Okay, that's basically World War III. Then from here on out, you have the 42-month reign of the beast. Okay, the harlot is not here. No harlot. I mean, she's in existence, but she is not a part of what is going on with the beast. So people want to think that the Catholic Church is going to be a part of the beast thing. And by the way, the beast does not have a system. He has a kingdom. He's a king with a kingdom. He's not a system. Okay, with a system, the system is a set of guidelines and principles and methods that are being passed on from one person to another. But this is a kingdom, and one king rules over everything. Okay, the king reigns supreme. His word is what people go by, and the false prophet is going to make everybody obey the king. So that's when it's the rule of the eighth king. So there's only this really short period of time where there's an overlap between the beast and the harlot, and I'm thinking it's probably about 5 months or less. Right? Now you see there's an overlap here between the harlot riding the beast and then the beast reigning by himself, and over here it's basically the harlot controlling the show on top of controlling these kings. And then when she tries to do it with the seventh king, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because when he rises from the dead, Satan is going to give the beast who rises from the sea all of his power, his throne, and his great authority. Okay, so the reign of the beast is going to be without the harlot. She's going to kind of continue. There's vestiges of her, and she'll finally be totally destroyed at the seventh bowl. Christ returns at Armageddon. Okay, so this is something people don't differentiate between the harlot and when she's doing her thing, and when the beast comes and he does his thing, and this period of time between when the rider on the white horse comes and the harlot is destroyed. Okay, right there. Short period of time that they overlap, and when the beast comes on the scene and starts to war against the harlot, people are going to think he's the good guy. Okay, Satan controls both sides. It's that controlled opposition thing. It's that the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's good and evil. So it's always in this sort of dichotomy, control both sides of the deal, and then you have total control. I don't know that the beast knows that he's going to be used by God, because God wants to get rid of Babel. He wants to get rid of this whole system. And he needs to get rid of it before the king comes on the scene and sets up his false millennium, and then Jesus will return, and we're going to have the true millennium with the real kingdom. And that's how that works. So don't fall for the idea that the harlot is like the Catholic Church, or the harlot is Washington, D.C., or the harlot is a city like New York, or she is over all of this and will continue to do this, be behind the scenes, controlling whatever, or be on in front of the scenes controlling whatever until the seventh king arrives, and then he is going to take his authority, his rulership, whatever he has, the crown that he's given, and the bow, which even though it doesn't say arrows, you don't have to say arrows in order to know that arrows are present. You don't have to say bow and arrow. That's kind of a Western thing, just like we don't say gun and bullets. It's assumed if you have a bow that you have arrows. And you can't go out conquering and to conquer with an empty bow. And there isn't going to be a covenant that the Antichrist makes that starts a 7-year tribulation. That is not biblical. So I have videos about all of that. But anyway, I just thought I'd put this out here as kind of an FYI. Those of you who've been watching my channel for a while know that this is part of the deal. If you want to learn more about the kind of timelines that I have, there's a link in the description box. It's called A Kingdom of Priests, the timeline template. All of these things happen in a specific order. So if things don't happen like this year, they can happen next year, and it's the same order of events that takes place. So leave me a comment in the comment section. We'll see you on another video. Till then, have a blessed day.